Welcome. And then back class. Ebesia economics. Economics we any ebesia economics in Twi. It's a wonderful topic, a beautiful topic. And the topic is demand. Yeah, but more than say, yeah, buy a cassa and you said yeah, students better as na ya maame nom ne ya papa nom ne ya nuanom ne ya ofa so no mu di dwan so afa ne bi afi mu de aye o mu businesses they are running on. That's the goal. So you can demand that she can say demand here so be here bibi and at the same so no. Who said demand refers to the various quantities of a commodity that consumers are willing and able to buy at various prices within a given time frame, all things being equal. Inti okwadi suamu so say demand here so be ton ade nipa dodo e pese omo to ade no ene ebo on pese omo to no ene edre poti bi ma on pese omo edi se adwa no. You see say demand is price specific and time specific. So that's demand bibi ayi nyina yinim dada. And try adwene si so. Ti wo bibi a friend of effective demand any wants or desires. In fact, those normal custom you can demand the chair say you be so here baby, but in economics no need jadi mu ankasa ne be caso demand no nye wano keke na emom it should be backed by purchasing power. So herein lies the difference between effective demand and wants or desires. For demand to be effective, I will say demand no backed by the person's ability to buy or purchase. So because here bibi keke na oni hu ska ni hu akadia. Yes, your friend wishes or desires. But to me, ope and no ya bako. No wuska or the benya side the crown so ya bako. So to me, yeah, the me no an answer ope no sa wuska or betim enya de nensa or shoshana an answer the opener your friend and no effective demand. The normal me no I was saying say I can't about the definition of demand and I care about the difference between effective demand and wants or desires. So you ensure the law of demand. Bibia no ubesua tiase ya or sort a whole laws as a whole principles as nhyehyɛ ya etachiri. Okay, nti demand ankasa no mra ben and by this concept of demand muma obi ati ase nhyehyɛ ben na ɛda ase ɛsi nyina yɛte ase na afi yetimidi etu anamo baako yɛ and as a law goes like this. The law of demand states that all things being equal at a higher price less of a commodity is demanded and at a lower price more of the same commodity is demanded. The law natural say normally speaking obi ekokuru makoto ade a the normal ne bo ofo no oto bebre na normal ne bo odin no oto kakra bi. That's law maybe 90% or 95% of the time. That's what happens. Until this way a futuma again before say price commodity bia share price ni, especially in this part of our way. You buy on price. Share price ni na who say price na the aircon. The brain habit me afford it. Because the higher the price, the less the quantity, and the lower the price, the more the quantity. Obin kasa boka, but you are saying say let it be moderate. Of course, can make a normal profit, but why should not charge more as the law of demand is saying actually America. But also there is unya no binya nemfa so also unya so also unya. That's basically about the law of demand. Okay, so we beyond that also we have what we call the demand schedule. Demand schedule. Actually, English you can schedule actually obi plans and bibisa normally. So we say demand schedule. There is a table showing the various quantities of a commodity or service that are demanded at various prices. Those it goes for the consumer of the time, but producer and seller and the old data we say. And then net on the 3 CDs are nipa 20 neto. Net on the 4 CDs are nipa 15 neto. Net on 5 CDs are nipa 10 neto. So that's an idea about the demand schedule. The demand schedule the individual demand schedule and the market demand schedule. Everyone saw who run the provision shop. Tibia Quadrobe what on the 2 CDs Quadrobe to me at the end of the month. But what on 1 CD of a top 10. I've been also the SUS on Conti Quadro individual. Now I've been also the individual. So we have the individual demand schedule. Okay. So BB was yet yes. With the individual demand schedule no is of course define a demand schedule. It's a table showing quantity demanded of a commodity at different prices. So individual, yes, that goes for the individual primarily. But markets, no, so yeah, say be a waka kwadwo mansa adwoa ne be a kwaku ya the abubo bubum be a 2 CDs ya e demanded 10. Quadro demanded 10. We see demanded 10. There are 2 CDs, you can say the market demand schedule near 30. Maybe at 1 CD. So these same people, they are demanding 20 each. So you see, say also is 60 CDs. So the individual demand schedule and the market demand schedule. And a data beer or seller and producer. More than a winner. As a student, so sort say your demand schedule, your individual demand schedule. It deals with individuals, and the market demand schedule. An aggregate and are the sum of the various individual demand schedules. And so the news economics. It's also a science, so it's a social science too. It has this mathematics underpinnings. I mean, mass in the womb. The next thing I see, I show you the demand curve. Yeah, of course, I believe that the audience know a little understand of mathematics here and there. So that's what it is. You know, some as we have graphs, we have equations, but you want to look at as we are talking economics, want to look at the demand curve. So we are saying that there's a graphical representation of various quantities of a commodity bought at various prices. In other words, it can be described as a curve or a graph showing the relationship between price and quantity demanded. He said it's me taking mathematical equations near plot or more on graphs. The same thing. We say at 1 CD, nipa demand 20. At 2 CDs demand 10. At 3 CDs demand 5. You can guess quite a bit of understand mathematics, you can plot this graph. One of the variable on the y-axis, the other variable on the x-axis. Upload here, nice. Then it gives you the graph, and that will give you the demand curve. The demand curve. So I think when we need it at times, when you do that, give you a visual. I mean, a visual appreciation of the demand for your product. Now, also your students, so at times you need to understand some of these things because one way or the other, write exams on it, and also helps in analysis. Very, very important. So we are saying that we have the demand curve, and we also, so we have talked about demand. We have talked about effective demand, or the difference between effective demand, desire, or wants. We have talked about the law of demand. We have also talked about the demand schedule. That's the individual demand schedule and the market demand schedule. And yes, I can the demand curve. And I want to look at something here. So we want to elaborate on the I think some account has some kakra, but we want to throw more light on it. When we talk about the individual demand schedule, we are talking about there's a little definition that these are the various quantities of a good or a service individuals are well able to purchase at various prices over a period of time. So that's for the individual. Individuals are walling. The emphasis is on the individual, and then the market demand. This is the sum or the total of the various quantities of a good or a service. All consumers in the market are willing and able to purchase at various prices over a given period of time. Market demand and also a summation of the individual demand schedules. How to give you the market demand schedules. Okay, so you can consult. Sarah, producer, this little information. What did you make in your analysis? It helps you to track a lot of things. It helps you to track a lot of these things. Track your figures. It helps. I know your students who are, you need to understand this. Very, very, very important. Again, we want to look at. We are still on demand. We want to look at factors affecting demand. Factors affecting demand. What do you think? The bit me ama obi a person better now and answer on those things. What do you think will be some of the factors? Interesting. Okay, so we have the price of the commodity. Price of the commodity. As we said, normally in economics term is ceteris paribus or ceteris paribus. Normally, normal boafua nipato bibri, normal boa nipato kakra. So you see that the price of any good or service will affect the demand for it. It's very, very, very important. And Africa is very, very key, the price. And quite say na the board in HSA papu debi. No if of course on more per quality, but the price was so too much. They will not buy. So be mindful of it as a obi a wudiga. A person nipa toward the price in ye. Who said you will see a price. And as a student, so say price affects demand. The second one is the price of other related commodities. Okay, so economists, when we talk about the price of other related commodities, we are talking about substitutes and complements. Substitutes and complements. When we say yɛmfa yɛnhyɛ ase mfiri substitutes. Yɛmfa nsa metɔn Milo, normal Milo ya yɛnim bi yɛ sachet one. Na obi so tɔn ebia this way ɛno so yɛ Milo. And I'm fancy Milo brand. When we say normally speaking, some returns are product in the menu. Say this way, a boy costra. Nipa nto this way no. Omba beto Milo no. In the same way, say Milo boy costra. Nipa nto Milo no. Ombeto this way. Me chese ne boy costra. All things being equal. Chese Milo yamfano. The first example no. Or whatever. Milo boa costro. This way boa ejina nipa nkwa akoto this way no. In the same way say this way boa costro no Milo boa da so ejina nipa nkwa akoto Milo no. Say this way boa costro no Milo boa da so ejina. That's the substitute. One we say the price of the related commodity now affect demand. Okay, ordinarily, no price and decrease here, but more of it is being demanded because it's substitute, a boy a cost. In the same way, so the substitute, a boy buffer, less of it will be demanded because quite substitute and a buffer. So that's for substitute. Yes, how complements. Your normal be or why you use boom. To say, even like a shoe socks. Normal use boom. And to say, say, normally speaking, shoe boy costra. A man for into shoe. And the demand for shoe better from. Not I can't say socks so better from because you see me in the boom. The nipa no go to shoe or to socks ayele. And that's also for the complements. But you have a shoe boa bafoma. Now I'm saying man for to shoe ne the socks so ne shoe into amount for so better socks. So that's what we mean said the price of related commodities can affect demand or affect demand. So these are factors affecting demand, or so far there should be factors affecting the demand for a commodity. Into here will be out on there. You have to understand those things. But you talk about advance all this way, and it be a Milo sachet 3-in-1. Now you talk be a 3-in-1 anymore. Now this way and that's we also who say normally speaking amount for but for this way for your market in fact you can say 3-in-1 be yes I can because price increasing and substitute the price and that's it offer this way or sad way the American normally what happens if you want a cost you did who is bet me to turn on my be said you offer a bebo and so often. I feel taste and preferences and also affect demand because normal be or why yes, na yam na ho tina demand for yam phone dear friend yam I don't say the any smartphone yam na make obi abi na no was so that is a miracle na say wo almost obi use smartphone enti say I mean obi phones now of course differences between them But normally speaking, the people prefer these smartphones because their taste is in tandem with smartphones, because times have changed and so on and so forth. So we are seeing that at times it's not only about the price of the commodity. The taste and preferences of the consumers can also affect the demand, the quantity that will be demanded of that commodity. Very, very important. Afei, expectation of future changes in price. Nti amanfoɔ ehu sɛ commodity bi ne price ebetimi akɔ soro a, they will tend to buy more of that commodity in the present. And at that time, the demand for that commodity will increase at the same price. But there's a future expectation of a change in price. Hope you understand me. And as we do this price now, so that's at that current price. Yeah, but they will not buy because almost so that's above and as whatever format they can get it cheaper. So at that current price, less of it will be demanded. So we are saying that all these things affect the demand for what? A commodity. Very, very important for us to understand this thing. I feel we are talking about population size. Normally speaking, the bigger your population, the bigger the demand for any good you are producing. And for instance, Ghana, Ghana also check no way. The last time I checked, in terms of population, and he said, "Obi a business or no way." Now all things being equal, no way population or time or more. Now Obi a business or Ghana population or time or more. Normally, the Obio producer of Ghana and the market here Ghana, being more, all things being a lot of people demand his goods and services as compared to the own Norway. But the advance Ghana and China is over 1 billion in terms of population. Yes, here maybe a little bit 30 million, something like that. And so we produce China, no, we produce Ghana. China is a bigger market than us. So there's no way, all things being equal, the all Ghana being more demand than the all China. So that's how population size affect the demand for goods and what? Services. So we also talk about income distribution. Income distribution. So income and also play a role in determining the demand. I think all things being equal, so the higher somebody's income, the higher he will demand for goods and services. And the lower somebody's income, the lower he will be his demand for goods and services. You just be very careful and focus on the need for very, very, very important. Okay, we are talking about income. Even the first one I just discussed goes more for the level of income, but income distribution. So because if more spend this scan or maybe a good them near there. That's the income distribution. Their needs have, basically met. The sales can tendencies on investment in our form. But what they cut down, chances that people will spend more. No, it was so very, 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 very important. Very, 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 very important. And only it goes with the income distribution with more and with the level of income. Of course, you seek a mood where you demand more, seek a form where you demand less. And advertisement, the truth of the matter is that advertisements affect demand. There are a lot of people who buy goods purely on the advert, run on that product, not the price, not any other thing. You are pricing the high, but when the advert is in, along the line catches your attention, then you go for the product. Advertisement is also key. That's why we say visibility is when people see you, when they hear what you are selling. In social media, baby, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, when you are visible, chances that whatever product you are selling, people have demand for, because it has been confirmed that advertisement, or it has been researched, and the outcome is that the outcome is that advertisement actually affect the demand for goods and services. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and let's learn more so that our life will be better, both for students and for business people. Thank you very much.